Eyewitness News. We're your hosts, Cora and Diana.
We have been busy digging up details about the Battle of Fort Necessity.
Until our on-site reporter is ready, we will talk briefly about the events that led up to the Battle of Fort Necessity.
In 1640, all of the beavers in the Hudson Valley had been trapped because of the fur trade.
The Iroquois Indians, which were allies with the English, attacked and defended the Huron Indians, which were allies with the French, for control of the beaver.
The Iroquois expansion threatened the French fur trade. In 1684, the French went to war with the Iroquois, and a few years later, the French went to war with England.
As a result of the war, there were many battles after that. The one we will mainly cover today is the Battle of Fort Necessity.
The Battle of Fort Necessity was a battle between the British and the French. George Washington was on the British side at this time, and he made a very big mistake. He killed the messenger of a diplomatic team.
After that, he knew terrible things were going to happen to him and his army, so he built a fort out of necessity.
The fort was built very quickly, and they didn't have much time to plan out a good place for the fort.
The fort ended up being built in a valley near swampy areas. Our on-site reporter Mandy is now going to give you a brief look at the war now. Take it away.
Reporting live from the Battle of Fort Necessity, this battle was the opening action of the French and Indian War. The French soldiers fired down at the fort, staying in the trees. On the day of the war, it was very moist as it was raining. It was very hard to fight with wet gunpowder, so it was hard for the British to fire back. The French saw that the British were struggling, so they surrendered and waved the white flag.
Go!
As you have just saw what has happened, the trench that the British were fighting in is still flooded. There is still plenty of ammo and body parts left on the scene. I will now let Cora and Diana take it from here. Back to you.
We will now have a special guest join this segment, your very own George Washington.
So tell me, George, what was going through your mind before the battle?
Well, I was pretty nervous, to be honest, because I was given the task to drive the French out of the Ohio River Valley. I was also outnumbered 1,000 to 132. And you guys can assume that I was 132 because I was outnumbered. I waited for reinforcements, but when they came with no commander, so I had to be commander.
Well, that must have been a really tough situation to be in. One last question for you. If you could do anything different than what you did at the Battle of Fort Necessity, what would you do?
I would have taken more time to plan out the camp location of the fort because we really struggled to fire back and win the battle.
Thank you, George. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today.
Thank you for watching 5 Eyewitness News. See y'all next time.